Somerset Place. This is the opening sort of chapter from Blood Flies Upwards, which is the first book in the series. Day 1, 8:59 a.m. The 999 call had come in just 10 minutes earlier. A Cat 1 G28, meaning a suspected homicide. Having told the whole response and patrol shift to blat over to the address, Sergeant Natalie Hewitt was the first to arrive at 75 Wyvern Road on the north side of the city. She ran upstairs and approached the young couple standing guard at the door to flat 3. Mr. and Mrs. Gregory should go back to your own flat now, she said, panting and taking in the smear of blood on the husband's right cheekbone. I'll have more of my colleagues joining me shortly. Please don't leave the house. We'll be wanting to take your statements. I've got a yoga class at 9:30, the woman protested. I'm afraid you may just have to cancel it just this once, she said. Tutting, the woman retreated to the staircase. Her husband delayed leaving just for a few seconds. We're just shocked, he said. Of course we'll wait. Nat nodded, eager now to enter the death room and deal with the latest chapter in the big book of bad things people do to each other. She swatted at the flies that buzzed towards her. They all came from the room at the end of the dark, narrow hallway. Keeping her eyes on the threadbare red and cream runner, alert to anything forensics might be able to use, she made her way to the kitchen. She supported herself against the opposite wall with her left hand so that she could walk one foot in line with the other along the right-hand edge of the hall. The buzzing grew louder, and she got her first proper smell of it, the unmistakable, unforgettable aroma of death. Sweet sour top notes overlaying a deeper, darker, rotting meat stink as body tissues broke down and emitted their gases. And blood. She reckoned she'd smelled more claret than a wine expert. This was present in quantity. The husband, what was his name? Gareth, that was it. He'd said on the phone it was bad. A slaughterhouse, his exact words. Let's find out then, shall we? She murmured as she reached the door and entered the kitchen. She'd been a keen photographer in her 20s, and she found it helpful to see crime scenes as if through a lens. Her way of putting some distance between her and whatever horrors the job required her to confront. In Wide Shot, an obscene parody of a Madonna and Child, a woman, early 30s to judge by her face, which was waxy pale, and a little boy, 3, maybe 4, cradled in her lap. She'd clearly bled out. He still had some colour, although the fresh bloom that must so recently have enlivened his smooth little cheek was gone, replaced by a greenish pink that made Nat queasy. The puddle of blood had spread right across the kitchen floor and under the table, on which half-emptied bags of shopping sagged. The dead woman was slumped with her back against the cooker, legs canted open yet held together at the ankle by her pulled-down jeans. And the little boy, looking for all the world as if he had climbed onto his mother's lap for cuddle, eyes closed peacefully, hands together at his throat as if in prayer. Though it looked as though the woman was dead, and now she looked closer, Natalie observed bruises around her throat that screamed strangulation. There were still protocols to be followed. And first of these was the preservation of life. She was sure the little boy was dead. His colour told her that there was no way she was going to go down as the sergeant who left a still-living toddler to die in the centre of a murder scene. But reaching him meant stepping in that lake of congealed blood. Buckaroo. Never mind all the old jokes and sneers from CID about the wooden tops walking through crime scenes in their size 12s. This was about checking if a kid had a chance of life. She pulled out her phone and took half a dozen shots of the bodies, then took 2 long strides towards them, wincing as her boot soles crackled and slid in the coagulated blood. She crouched and extended her right index and middle fingers, pressing lightly on the little boy's jaw into the soft flesh where the carotid artery ran. She closed her eyes and prayed for a pulse, trying to ignore the smell and the noise of the writhing maggots and their soft, squishy little bodies as they roiled together among the mess. After staying there long enough for the muscles in her her legs to start complaining, and for her to be certain the little lad was dead, she straightened and reversed out of the blood, taking care to place her feet back in the first set of footprints. She turned away, looking for some kitchen roll to wipe the blood off her soles, and then she looked in horror at the wall facing the cooker. Oh shit.